Hey, welcome back to the Uncensored podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm so good. I'm way better than you. I have internet working. You have a hotspot, but I've got some mic difficulties. So anyways, let's get through it and talk about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
Perfect. That's like the best intro we've ever done. Let's do it again, just for fun. Here we go.
Right, one more time. Woo! We just get one of those going.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And yes, those are all true statements. I'm moving. I've moved, and I can't get my internet to work, so I'm working off a hotspot, and it's been difficult, but it's okay. But that's why we're not streaming the podcast.
Yeah, honestly, just anything that might hold stuff up, we don't want to mess up. Like, if I fuck with my internet, I don't know if it's gonna fuck with your internet.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't know how the internet works, so we're just not gonna fuck with it.
I've never been online before. My parents have never given me permission.
That's such a fucking lie. But yeah, so sorry if you don't get to see our faces. You'll still get to hear our super shitty voices through your headphones. So, hey, man, let's just talk about stuff. Let's talk about each other for a bit. That's what really matters. Yeah.
I want to know, how did your move go? Update me.
Dude. Okay.
Because I figured that's like the biggest thing. You've been packing a shitload.
Yeah. So the week before this, before the move, Sierra and I had been like packing things slowly and like just kind of taking a little bit of boxes and stuff. Like I managed to get all my figures and all my books here before we even had the actual move day, which is on a Saturday. Just because like I'm like, I can move these. I'll move like a couple boxes a day, no big deal. And also I'd feel less guilty if I'm the one that fucks up my figures as opposed to someone who's helping me, you know? So I did that. My father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and then a good friend of mine named Tim all helped move. And we really fucking knocked it out. Honestly, like they showed up at 11. We were done within an hour and a half. Like we moved like all the furniture, all the fucking, stuff from the bedroom, kitchen stuff. We put it in and we got it all out. It was crazy. This is honestly, I'd never moved so efficiently in my whole life. Which felt really good. And I only knew it felt really good because the like Tim and Corey kept being like, dude, we're doing a really good job. And then when we were done, I'm like, holy shit, we're fucking done. I was like, yeah, dude, we're fucking done. It's crazy. So
it's awesome.
Moving was great. Unpacking is now, the next hurdle. Not knowing where things are, trying to figure out what box we put what in. And our garage looks like shit because our garage is just the leftover stuff. Like, hey, these aren't essential things, but they're things that we moved. So we have a functional home. Like we have the bedroom set up, the living room set up, the kitchen's is set up, and like today I got around to doing my office. I was able to set up my computer and my desk the day after the move. So I was able to try to set up the internet. That didn't work, which was disappointing. But now I'm getting into like unloading my figures, doing my boxes. There's nothing on the walls yet, which is a bummer. It's kind of looks really weird to be in here with no posters.
It's kind of grim. People, you don't want to see it. Like,
no,
it doesn't feel like Juan.
No, but I've decided I'm going to move everything, unpack everything in my room, and then go get my posters and then just like ship them over, put them up. Yeah, man, but we're really tired. Like the first day I was like super sore, and then today I woke up even more sore, and like muscles I didn't know could hurt. And like the front of my shin hurt. I didn't know like there was like a muscle there. But it felt like I'd strained something. But yeah, man, it's good though. It feels good. It feels good to be in our new place. But that was most of last week. And then this week is just honestly just moving. And like, I think I've talked to you about it. Like the part I hate the least about moving is packing. And, after that, everything just kind of sucks for the sake of sucking. But it is what it is. Yeah, so me and Sierra have been very tired these last couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides that, like I said, I had to get a tech guy out here to do the installation for our cable tomorrow, Tuesday. Because we're recording on a Monday, by the way. Oh God, fucking everything's out of whack.
Dude, throwback. It's been how long? Half a year?
Yeah, it's been a long time. So it was funny. We had to set up a tech, and they're like, the person that's on the phone's like, hey, like they're asking questions, and then they go like, it's like they said, hey, has anybody in your home, been contracted with the virus? And we go, no. And it's kind of like, forever, like, oh yeah, that's obviously something people. And I was like, no, we have not. And I was like, thank God we haven't. Imagine if we said yes, and they go, ooh, sorry, we can't service you.
No,
and then we
if
just
you
don't.
say yes, then they go, okay, we'll send Frank out there.
Yeah,
Like,
Frank sucks
Frank's
ass.
the guy we don't care about, so it's fine.
No, they just someone who works for them who has COVID. There's like, yeah, we'll just send the guy that's already sick.
Exactly. Like, it's fine. You guys are both sick, so.
Yeah, but I was worried. I was like,
know?
fuck, imagine if we were sick and there's like, we can't get to you for like months because of whatever. But no, they'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully they'll be able to set the shit up. Our new place is 2 stories and all our, I haven't lived in 2 stories apart in a house in a while now. I forget how
It's kind of fun.
It's nice and it's not. Like I like being able to look out the window and like I get like a nice view. But it is hotter up here because heat rises, right? And stairs, like going down, not a problem. Coming up, what a bitch. Like I fucking
Yeah, man. Oh, whenever I would get home at like midnight after Starbucks and just like I've been standing for 8 hours straight working my ass off. Gotta climb up those stairs. It's just like, oh God, why?
What's funny is that when I was talking to my mom about our new place, my mom says it's 2-story. I was like, yeah. And she goes, you got your room downstairs? I was like, no, my room's upstairs. All the rooms are upstairs. And she goes, oh, Juan, what an inconvenience. You shouldn't have got that place. And I go, you're not the one living there. She's like, I know, but now I feel less, inclined to come over. I don't want to go upstairs. Like, you don't have to go upstairs. But yeah, I remember my mom's always been against like living in like a house that's 2 stories. Like
you guys, when we first started doing the podcast, you were in a 1-story, and then immediately moved to a 2-story.
And she fucking hated it. All she would do is complain about it nonstop. She's like, I can't believe this is ugh. And I was like,
why move?
I don't know. I don't understand my parents. They don't fucking make any sense. Yeah, so
I think that's how a lot of people feel.
Yeah, for sure. Besides that, like the neighborhood's nice. I think I was kind of confused as like who our neighbor was because I'd see different people here. Like I would see like a bunch of kids, and then I would see like one white woman, and then like another white woman. I'm like, okay,
all your neighbor.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder who lives here. And then they would really standoffish. They wouldn't say hello, or anything. Like I don't expect them to be like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood, neighbor. Like make me a pie or something. But like a nice wave and like, hi, how you doing is like always like very cordial, And they were very like, they weren't doing that. It's like, okay, no big deal. And then the day that we're moving, there's like a little kid at the door, and then like an old lady opens the front door and she's like, oh, hey, she waves at us like, are you guys moving in? I was like, yeah. She's like, today and tomorrow we should be moving. She goes like, okay, well, welcome to the neighborhood. It's nice to have you. And I was like, I think the old lady lives here. Like, I think she's the grandma, and all the people that are coming are either like her kids or her grandkids and like her great grandkids. Yeah. Like, I think that's the spot. Cause like I see so many fucking little kids out here riding bicycles, and I was like, there's no way they all live here. So I think I'm living next to a hot grandma is what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. Go. Yeah. So she's cool. I don't have any complaints. I hear like children's laughters every now and then, and I go, fuck, man, this is tough. And then Bella's adjusting to going up and down stairs. In the past, she was not having it, and then we had to coax her, and now she's a fucking pro. She thinks she's all about it. She'll just bolt up and bolt down like crazy.
Where were you guys where she had to deal with stairs?
Sierra took her over to like her sister's place and tried to get her up the stairs, and no, like Sierra almost got dragged down the stairs and concussed because like Bella was like, no, I'm not going upstairs. But yeah, she looks really dumb doing it because she's very long. But she's come into her own. She's like really like she's fucking owning it, which is I think is good. I'm glad that she is liking it. Yeah. I was kind of hoping she would never go upstairs. I'm like, cool, she's just a downstairs dog. I don't ever have to worry about her coming up here. But I was not lucky. But yeah, man.
Dogs want to be around their owners way too much.
Yeah. But that's it, dude. Honestly, like I haven't been doing anything else besides moving and unpacking stuff and setting shit up like fucking furniture. So yeah, I
saw Sierra has been watching DVDs in the other room. Yeah,
Sierra started watching Fantastic Mr. Fox, which bums me the fuck out. It's one of my favorite movies. I gave it to her, I'm pretty sure. And she's sending me snaps to be even meaner. She's like, hey, remember this scene? I was like, yeah, I do remember that scene. It's a good scene. Fuck. So far, the thing I like about our new place, and I thought I wouldn't like this, is weird. It's a weird thing to be like, this is my favorite thing about our new place to live, is the laundry machine and the dryer.
That's fine. That's good. That's a good thing to like.
I feel like it's like a very adult thing, but when I first saw it, I was like, you know what? I'm not convinced. This laundry machine and dryer look very small, and they are smaller. I do have to do loads at a smaller like capacity, but it fucking does them so quick, and they're fucking clean as shit. So yeah, I'm fucking 2 thumbs up. Laundry and dryer,
Hell
super
yeah,
fan.
man.
Yeah,
super stoked about that. Yeah, I remember when you moved into your last place, being like, "Oh, I don't fucking like this washer and dryer."
Dude, I fucking hate it. No, I was like it
Day
smells
one.
funny. It smells funny. It was like in a weird place.
It was like mildewy.
And they were both front facing. This one is like one of those, like, it's like the bottom one, which is the washer, is like a top loader. And then the dryer that's above is a front facing one. I was like, this is so fucking convenient. There's so many times at the old place where I would like load shit to wash and then have to pull it out to like put it at the top to dry. And it would just like fall on the floor wet. And I go, great, now it's got hair on it again. Yeah. So yeah, as a 26-year-old adult, I will say my favorite new toy that the house has is a dope washer and dryer. Fucking great.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. So, and we live very close to my father-in-law, which is great.
Actually, pretty damn close to me.
Very close, yeah. The convenience store, the Power Mart that's like down the street, has fucking everything, dude.
Oh, I know. I loved that store. When I was living right on that street, we would go there all the time. It's just like, all right, what do you need? I need like 12 hot dogs, a box of Cheerios. I need to get a new toilet plunger.
Some bacon, some eggs.
Yeah.
Fresh produce. I was like, this is the first time where I'm like, this really deserves the name of like a convenience store. Like I've had stores where it's like, it's convenient. Like this has everything. Sierra and
the only people that go there are like, hey, could I get a pack of cigarettes?
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Could I get a pack of cigarettes? No, just like everybody in line. I'm like, what's happening?
Sierra and I went and got sushi, and then we came here to eat it, but I forgot that we hadn't brought over like our fridge stuff, so we didn't have any sriracha or soy sauce. So I was like really bummed out.
That's rough.
And I was like, maybe we'll hit the corner mark, see what's up. And Sierra comes back with like these little travel size sriracha and soy sauce. I was like, $4? Are you kidding me? Buy as many as you can. It's so great. Also, when I was there,
they have some like good candies and stuff too.
A guy bought a whole case of like Arizona, like not like one, like a whole case of them. He's just like plopped them down.
That guy knows how to live, dude.
and I was curious. I was like, hey man, how much does a case of Arizona cost? Like, it was like $20. I was like, yeah, that's not bad actually. I mean, it's still more expensive than it would be. But if it's like down the street, yeah, fucking hit me up. Fucking case of Arizonas. Yeah, man, that's it. So I'm liking the move. It's going great. Fucking hate the internet situation, but it is what it is.
Oh, it sucks. I'm so bummed for you.
It's funny though. You are more upset than I am. Like you keep sending me texts and you'll text Sierra, and I was like, and Sierra's like, wow, Tripp is really pissed off about our internet situation. He's like, yeah, he's mad.
Well, because like in my line of work, working with new apartments and people moving in all the time, whenever there's an internet problem, I'm always just like, fuck, dude, that sucks. That's terrible. But there was once, it was the summer that I was working over at Pine Tree, and we had all the new remodeled apartments. And this dude moves in from our other property over at Oak Meadow. He moves in, and the cable cord is like cut. So he had all of his Comcast shit, and he didn't set up any appointments or anything. He's like, hey, is this something our maintenance should take care of? Or is this something that Comcast should? And we're like, that's Comcast shit. Mm-hmm. But that's honestly like the carpet installer, like something.
Yeah.
Somebody like that, like somebody fucked up.
Yeah.
And they wound up like accidentally screwing over a lot of different apartments. There were... I'm just doing a little bit of quick maths. I think there were it was either 16 or 24 apartments.
Whoa. Yeah. I thought you were going to be like 5 or 6. That's double digits.
It was like, what the fuck? So we were super upset, and it all wound up working out. It was all fine. But
that's super shitty though. When you go, there's literally nothing you can do. You have to get a new cable put in because somebody cut it. That's wild.
Yeah, because I've had issues where I'm like, all right, the internet's really fucked up here, so I need to I need to upgrade my Wi-Fi router because for some reason it's just not really working. Or whatever it is. Like, well, my modem's not powerful enough for like this apartment apparently because the internet's so bad out here. So I've had a lot of issues in the past personally. And it's not fun to deal with because everything is online these days. And back then it was like, well, I moved to a new place and now like I need a new job and I don't even have like at that point phones weren't the easiest to navigate the internet.
Yeah, no, dude, I get it for sure.
It was like 2011.
It was like, hey, download the app and just, and then that's how we were going to set up our gateway here. And I go, okay, it'd be cool to download our fucking app on our phones with oh, hold on, we don't have Wi-Fi. So Sierra and I literally sat there and like, it's like forever for her phone to, download an app to get the thing going. And once it did, it was just like, the app is like, hey man, don't know. And it made us call customer service. It was ridiculous. But yeah, you are more upset than I am, so that makes me feel better.
Yeah, it's outrageous. My boss has been dealing with internet issues. I don't know why she's still waiting for like a Comcast guy to come out. Didn't take you that long.
No,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So her internet's been like out at her place for 2 months, but she lives a very different life than we live.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
2 months.
Crazy.
How does she play her Words with Friends? 2 months, huh? Without internet. Damn.
2 months without sending your homies a dick pic. Good night,
That's not what's up.
It sucks. So yeah. Anyways, I'm pissed for you. But I'm glad that tomorrow is the day for recovery. We would have had to record this podcast at like 10 at night, and I would not have any energy after tomorrow, dude. Tomorrow is gonna be a fucking Tuesday, let me tell you. Without anything in general to say.
No, I get it. I get it. It's a Tuesday, man. Tuesdays are Tuesdays. Yeah, man.
Life at work has been all right, but I still haven't had my interview set up for the management position, which is irritating, but I also completely understand it because there are a lot of laws, or there's like lockdown stuff is being lifted, right? So there's been an update of laws that is keeping our main office preoccupied, and like they're trying to make sure that we are abiding by everything, and there's nothing that's like slipping through the cracks, any like weird cases for stuff. And then we also lifted the lockdown on the gym and the pool and the playground. So because of that, we have a lot of shit that we have to do. I'm fucking pissed. I don't think that we should have it open at all.
I get it.
Because it's so much time and manpower for us to just do the sanitization that we're able to do. But we're not keeping it as sanitary as it should be. So if we were just completely hands off and we're just like, you guys have to take care of it yourselves, I think that more people would be hesitant to come, other than the people that already were very willing to deal with whatever disease they might catch out in the world. But instead it's like, no, we have to close down the gym 3 times a day to sanitize it, which that's fine. Early in the morning, like, well, not early, but 7 to 8. And then 11:30 to 12:30 and 4 to 5. And we have different people that are covering that. So no big deal. But it should be sanitized more. More people are going to use it at night. Like, I don't think that still keeping the gym 24 hours is the safest thing. But it's what we're doing, I guess. So anybody that wants to go to the gym very early in the morning or very late at night, not even very late at night, just like kind of late at night.
Yeah, like after
they're
work.
Gonna have they're going to be a lot more at risk.
That's funny.
It sucks.
Because I get it. Like, I get that, like, the bans are going, like, things are being lifted, but that doesn't mean everything should just go, back to normal. Because that's what people think. Well, people think shit's lifted, everything's okay, nothing's bad with the world anymore.
The thing that sucks about this is that everyone's like, come on, like, other pools are opening and shit. And it's like, yeah, but the thing is, we are a small staff and we don't have the people to monitor if anybody's cleaning up after themselves or using their equipment or whatever it is that they're supposed to or not supposed to be doing. So we have like alternating, this machine is closed, this one's on for the gym, and people are already like, hey, if nobody's in there, is it fine if I use it? Because I get that it's for distancing, and I'm like, we don't have the manpower to clean all of these pieces of equipment, otherwise we would have to keep the gym closed for even longer, and that's sacrificing a large chunk of our day. So I spend like an hour of my day in the afternoon cleaning now. And if you want to get a hold of me, that sucks. I can't. My job is not as important anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. It's all weird. And then for the pool, we only sanitize it once a day, right?
Just dump a bunch of bleach in it?
We don't do shit to the actual pool, just the furniture, because the
okay.
chlorine apparently is supposed to take care of it. But I honestly haven't heard of any studies or anything. I'm sure that they're out there, but I haven't heard of any studies that say like, yeah, it completely neutralizes the disease or whatever.
Just shoot it with some light. Hit it with some really strong light.
You just gotta burn it off, dude. So yeah, we're sanitizing the pool equipment once a day, which doesn't seem like it's enough at all, but whatever. And we're not having like, there's no sanitary equipment out there for people to clean off anything before they sit on it or after or any of that. Anyways, on the weekends, one person works and they're spending they're supposed to only spend 30 minutes, but that's impossible to detail a gym and all of its equipment and to sanitize all the pool equipment. They're supposed to spend 30 minutes doing that. And we have a sign that says like, hey, the gym's closed during these hours on Monday through Friday. And I called the main office and I'm like, should we say it's also closed like during a period on the weekend? Or, and they're like, oh no, you're just supposed to find the time on the weekend to do that. And I'm like, what the fuck? But we have appointments and shit and we need to be in there and answer the phone. So what are we supposed to do? I don't understand. Essentially they're just saying like, yeah, your new job is cleaning stuff, which that would be fine. But they're also like, don't forget about your other job that you still have to do. We just don't have the people, which sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit pissed that we have to reopen shit when other places are doing it more safely and better than us. We're not able to take care of it as much. It just feels like it's too risky right now without a system in place for us to like clean shit, and we don't have enough employees.
Yeah. No, you guys are a small operation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Dude, want to hear something funny? I know you're telling your stories when
No, you're good.
Out. But okay,
Hit me
so
up.
I went to Mountain Mike's to pick up pizza the other day. I ordered ahead of time and I went to grab it, and they had hand sanitizer, right? Like to like in like really big jugs. Like it almost looked like they were like a gallon jugs of like this hand sanitizer. And right before I go to like to use it, there's like a little tiny sign that's like handwritten. It says like a just says a lot comes out. Don't squeeze too hard, right? And I was like, okay. So like I barely tap it and like a big old glob comes out, like massive. And I go, oh my God, I barely touched this. So I'm just like using it to like, thoroughly get rid of it all. I'm like, oh man, like that was wild. The next person comes in, it's like this dude and he doesn't read the little sign and he plunges all the way down and it just cakes the fuck out of his hand in his shirt. And I was trying really hard not to laugh. But it was,
you laughed at it?
But I was like, holding my face like, oh my God. But I turned around so he didn't see me do it. But I was like, oh, dude, you got to read those little tiny signs, man. Those little tiny signs are out there for a reason.
The most important.
Yeah, it was so funny. Oh man, that was good.
Poor fella.
Yeah, and he was
going
just like,
around not reading.
Oh fuck, and he was just like scooping it. I don't know. I didn't even know how he got rid of it. I think he just like kind of rinsed a lot of it off like on the ground like this, you know. Oh man, it was funny though, and I got my pizza. It was fun.
Hell yeah, it sounds like a wonderful time out there.
It was a good time, yeah.
Okay, so let's see, what else have I been doing? Not a lot. I don't know. Fucking The Last of Us 2 comes out this weekend, so I'm taking like a little vacation.
How long?
Right? 5 days.
Nice.
It'll be super fun, and I'm very excited about it. And I don't think my boss is realizing that I'm about to take 5 days vacation, but she should have known for the past like month and a half.
She can walk herself up her stairs, right? She doesn't need your help anymore.
She actually moved about 2 months ago to her new place where she doesn't have internet. Yeah.
She downstairs though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you don't.
That's why she moved.
So you don't need to help her anymore to get to.
Don't need to. It's a huge relief considering that I just after work I just want to get home and I already know that I'm on call. It's like month 4.
Are you still on call even during your 5-day vacation?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
That sucks.
Do you think I could actually get a break to like way chill? No.
Damn. Nah. That's a bummer, dude.
Yeah, it's the life that I choose to live. But anyways, yeah, that's going on soon, so I'm super excited about that and kind of in preparation for it, but not necessarily. I'm trying to get really invested in something that feels very different. And I might have chose the wrong thing, but I've been playing Ori and the Blind Forest, which is absolutely gorgeous. And as an animator who's worked on games and stuff, I think that you would really like some of it. It reminds me of Bitey of Brackenwood.
Okay.
Some of the animation sequences, it just looks really fluid and really fun. And the whole intro, like the whole prologue, it just has beautiful animation, and it's a great little story to tell. Because the game is, I guess, spoilers for the first 5 minutes of prologue or whatever, but the game's about this little forest spirit, and I mean, their name's Ori. They come from some kind of a special piece of this god of the forest, and they get discovered by this creature, and the creature hangs out and feeds them, and they get along together, and then some bad stuff happens to the world, and there's a giant famine, and the forest is pretty much destroyed. So then the creature and Ori are like dying, and the creature, instead of taking the last fruit and splitting it, gives it all to Ori and dies. And then Ori is like weakly crawling around and eventually dies as well, but is brought back because it's a piece of the forest that needs to like recover the forest energy and spirit and restore balance and all that shit. But it's like, oh, cute creature. Oh, that's a cute guy. Oh, this is fun. This is cute. Oh, man. And it shows this whole sequence of them like building this bridge and having this like nice little area. And then when you're playing as dying Ori, who's like starving, you're like crawling and seeing memories of your friend and who's now dead. And you're like crawling around on the bridge that you built together. It's gorgeous. It's a platformer game, Metroidvania style. It's something that I've been wanting to play for a long time, but sometimes with platform games that have different weird jump mechanics, I'm very hesitant because I got way too into like Super Meat Boy, and I remember getting really frustrated at like late game Dark World levels, and I was really unsatisfied not being able to, after like an hour of playing this level, get this special item and then go and like beat the level or whatever at the same time. I don't want to revisit that, and I get worried that a lot of indie games are going to have segments where you can do that. And I will be I'll want to do it. There's no way that I won't want to do it is my issue. I have too much passion and drive for seeing all the cool shit that people wanted to put into their game, and then when it stops being cool, I think more negatively of the game, and I don't want to do that. I want this to be a fun challenge, but instead of it being a fun challenge, it's just a frustrating challenge.
Yeah.
Which sometimes you do one and you're like, thank fuck I overcame that. And then you feel so much better going on because you now learned how to do something a new way, something you build upon. I've been putting off Ori for those reasons, and I'm going to try to beat it before I play The Last of Us 2, because it's just such a different kind of game. Yeah. Anyways, other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Terraria and a little bit of Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn's a good time, similar to Diablo, Path of Exile, those kinds of things. You just blast stuff with your boys. It's good. I have a giant briar thorn elemental to follow me around. So it's just this big old beast-looking thing made out of thorns. And it's cool. Being a shaman's rad, dude. You should try it.
I'll try it. Yeah, for sure. Which game is this?
Grim Dawn.
Grim Dawn. Okay. I will be a shaman in Grim Dawn.
Perfect. Thank you. And then been playing that Terraria a lot with Kyle. It's hard. It's fun. But man, each time we get to like a new boss, it's so fucking hard to overcome it. So last night we fought the boss and beat it, I think, on the first try. Maybe it was the second try. Can't remember. And then we didn't go and do another boss, but we did go to this special event type thing. We created some special items and then summoned the Christmas event. And the Christmas event essentially went like a bunch of nutcrackers and stuff were fighting us, and then like attack helicopters, and then Krampus and these Christmas trees that were shooting all kinds of pine needles and shit. And it got a little bit wild. And as we were fighting the boss, which is this like ice queen, suddenly it's like, oh, blood moon rises. And then it changes from Christmas to a bunch of like these iconic horror villains. So you have like Psycho and like a possessed person that's like crawling on their back with their head like flipped upside down coming at you. You've got the Needlehead like type dude. All of them were named sort of generic things. You had Jason and the Butcher and
very generic Jason.
Yeah. Jason. You had the Swamp Thing, all kinds of stuff like that. And that was just a fun little event to do. It was weird, and some like Death Robot stuff. So we didn't get to finish the Christmas one. We then did that, and now we're just on our road to do the Christmas thing again. It's been dumb. It's been fun. I love it. Terraria turned out to be way more fun than I ever expected, because a lot of the pictures and stuff that people share online are like, check out this build I did. And then it's just like this cool looking scene that they made, or cool looking house, or whatever it is. Not for me. I don't care how cool something looks if it's not fun. And I don't think that building stuff is inherently fun. So seeing this doesn't convince me whatsoever. It's and honestly, seeing it doesn't convince me when it's the thing that I like. So seeing the gameplay of people like going and fighting stuff and digging and whatnot, it doesn't look fun at the same level as other kinds of trailers and videos and whatnot. But then when you play it, it has a very different feeling. And that's pretty similar how I felt about Minecraft. I was just like, oh shit, this is way more immersive than I expected. It's like pretty spooky at night. I don't know. I like it. It's calming. It's fun. It's scary. Terraria is very hard and is more of a video game and less immersive. Yeah. They're good. They're both good. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
10. Good time. And I haven't done anything cool. I do nothing these days.
Oh, dude. Come on now. There's nothing cool to do anyways. Fuck it.
Exactly. Dude, you fucking said it. So, yeah, other than that, I've been watching a lot of shit. What about you? You been watching anything?
Let's see. What have I watched? No, I haven't been watching any anime. I haven't been watching... Actually, the first thing I've watched has been this week's topic since, the last we spoke. We've just been that busy.
Damn.
I did see that Megalobox is now on Netflix. I was like, people should get on that if you haven't seen that.
Yeah.
They finally dropped all of like the 140 episodes of One Piece. I was like, people should get on that. If you want to just throw your life away, go for it.
This is the time.
This is the time. This is the time. It's really now. Something I did watch, like it was a small video. I like when people like, give you lists like, hey, these are my top favorite albums or top favorite, like something like that.
Which is why we have a couple of list episodes.
Yeah, this guy did a list. And it's like I'm always a fan of seeing people list off like animes. It's like, oh, cool. Like I'd love to see what your favorite shonen animes are or whatever favorite. This guy, he said, hey man, these are my top 5 animes that have been slept on, which kind of means like people don't really pay too much attention, or they've kind of like they're not giving as much hype as they should. I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll find like an underrated anime
something underrated, a hidden gem, whatever.
And then he goes, number 1. He goes, number 1, Black Clover. And I was like, okay. And he goes, number 2.
We're not following yet.
Yeah, number 2, Fire Force. I was like,
Oh, I see a pattern emerging.
Number 3, My Hero Academia. I was like, this guy's full of fucking shit. And I was like, for a second, I was like, maybe he's being like facetious. Maybe he's just being a douche. And I think
some people just like stuff differently.
And I was like, oh, maybe he just isn't aware of other people, and maybe all his friends don't like it. Maybe he's the one guy in his group of friends that are just like, yeah, man, I'm more into slice of life kind of thing, and he's was like, no, man, it's all about these dope ass fights. You should watch it. And then the fourth one was I don't remember. Black Clover. See, Attack on. No, it wasn't Attack. My Hero. I don't know. But the last one he said was One Piece. I was like, dude, this guy's full of fucking shit. And I was like, actually, like upset. I was just like, this guy sucks ass. Like, this is a bad
Why are
list.
you mad at this dude?
I was upset.
Like, we have weird opinions.
But I was upset because I was like, man, I wanted like a list. I wanted like something that I've never heard of. Maybe like a good, and I was like, and all I got was like very popular animes that I know people love, and that
they've been on the cover of Shonen Jump multiple times,
and that I myself might not even like completely like My Hero. I'm cool with. I think One Piece is fine. I wasn't into Black Clover or
Fire Force. You really gave it your all.
Yeah,
but...
so I was just like, so that I wasn't upset with his with those shows. It was like, it wasn't like I'm being biased, like they suck. I think they suck. It was more like, I just don't think he worded his list. He should have been like, hey, these are my favorite shonens of this, this past 10 years. Like, okay, cool, that's a better name for your list, as opposed to shows that people have been sleeping on that people should be watching. I was like, no, for sure people are watching these shows. I think you're fucking crazy.
You've been sleeping on My Hero Academia for a while. Like, I don't know if you knew this or not, but it has 2 movies.
I watched both of them with you.
What? Nah. My Hero Academia. It's a show about some superhero kids.
Trip, who was sitting next to you when you watched those movies?
It doesn't matter. I was so engrossed with the movie that I have no idea who was next to me or who I spoke with the entire day.
Okay, I do remember what the last he said Demon Slayer was also a show that was slept on.
Oh, you mean Kimetsu no Yaiba? Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dude, what a fucking weeb. You know the actual name of it? God, you fucking hate yourself. Yeah, that's it. That's the extent of anime I've watched this week. Is this one guy give me a really shitty list?
Like, man, wish I watched more anime.
Yeah, I wish I did, but like I said, even if I wanted to here, I couldn't, because there's no fucking Wi-Fi. But yeah, I'm excited to watch.
I get it, man. I get it.
Some fucking Grim Glipnir and some fucking Kyle's butt. Tower of God.
Tower of God.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch some of that.
Kyle's butt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what about you, man? What animes have you watched?
Well, I've been keeping up with modern shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched new shows, sure, but I also watched a fuck ton of Avatar.
Nice.
I don't remember where I said I was at last time, but Kate and I have been watching it, and now we're almost halfway through season 3. We just learned some backstory between Sozin and Roku without any spoilers to newcomers.
It
was just a heavy backstory.
It's
episode.
book 3, okay? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, book 3 fire. But season 3 for people that didn't want that spoiled. So, okay.
I like that.
They're all books.
I like that backstory of finding about Avatar Roku, and this is... I think,
and his relationship with Sozin and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I thought super cool. Wasn't that being told 2 ways? Isn't it?
Iroh's telling, no spoilers.
Iroh's telling that one person, and then that one person's telling that other person.
Iroh said one thing to that one person, and then that other person was just doing his normal thing.
I don't know.
Iroh said one thing because he was like,
I'm not talking to you. Yeah.
No, he was like, the fuck was the point of this? And he's like, you don't understand. And then said the one thing that was important.
Oh, yeah. When he said that, I'm going to say it right now. Here he goes. Ready, guys? He said, you don't understand. To that one person. No, that was really good. Actually, it took me a while I think I missed it on the first time I watched it. That whole bit. I'm just like, oh, cool. Wow, their stories. Their stories really are intertwined. What a cool thing. Yeah, it's a good show, man.
So that was the last episode we watched. So we're having a good time. I'm just relieved because the last time that I think we talked about this on the podcast, Toph wasn't even in the show yet.
No,
now she's.
You were at the pass, I think. That's where you were at last time we talked about it.
Serpent's Pass.
That's where you at. Yeah. No, not that one. The one where they're
oh, the Great Divide.
The Great Divide. Yeah, that's the one.
Which is episode 5 or 6 or some shit in the beginning.
That's last time we spoke about it. You and Kate were right there, and you're just like, I fucking don't like that episode. And I was like, and then we talked about the episode I didn't like. Which the play episode kind of sucks.
Yeah, which I totally understand. I'm just trying really hard to make sure that Kate knows that it is exactly what it is, but there are parts of it to appreciate.
Yeah, Kate, it's really bad. I can't wait to spoil it for you. Okay, so here's how Avatar: The Last Airbender ends, Kate. So Aang
she's screaming and covering her ears right now.
Aang and Katara don't end up together. Instead, Zoku ends up with Toph, and fucking someone turns into the moon. That's Avatar: The Last Airbender, how it ends.
The ending that we always wanted.
No, I love seeing the memes. I saw a really good meme where it's just like, boys only want one thing, and it was just like, and it's like pictures like book 4, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, you right. That is what I want.
But we didn't need it for this story.
Not for this story, no.
For Korra, though, you needed that book 4.
Oh man, Korra's good too. You gonna watch
really
Kate also?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that as well. But I really like the story progression in both of them, and how they do different things. I think that Avatar is really good. Avatar: The Last Airbender is really good at showing you like, hey, here's a little piece of all the different parts of the world. And Korra is really good at showing you, here's a very specific area, and then here's another very specific area, and then here is kind of the whole world, and now this is another larger specific area. Like, they focused on some pretty new ideas, I think, for Avatar, and old ones, and I just appreciated how they kind of changed it from
I think that Avatar: Last Airbender, like, it did a really good job of building like a massive world. Like, I felt like I knew the size of it, right? And then when we go to Korra season 1, we're just like, are we not going to go anywhere? Are we just staying in this one city?
Yeah, it felt like you were trapped, right?
But it felt good though. I was like, cool, like, you know, let's see how things develop here, and let's see what the struggles are with this new, you know, more modern world. And then and then more seasons go on, and they start branching out a little bit. I go, oh, cool, that's right. We are in this world that I come to really know and understand from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So yeah, you're right. That is really cool that they did that.
It's interesting too, because you look at it as a whole thing, and you kind of want to see the new world. Like, you want to see all the different parts of it really fast, because you're like, yeah, I've been here before, but
I've been to Ba Sing Se, bro.
I want to know what's up with Ba Sing Se. Yeah. And then in Avatar season 2, though, like, you've seen a lot of the world, and then like, we're chilling in Ba Sing Se for like 8 episodes, and you're like, all right, I'm cool.
Cool. you're like, yeah, man, I'm tired too. We could hang out in Ba Sing Se for a bit. No big
might
deal.
As well just chill in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to start the new seasons of Korra, because I remember Avatar: The Last Airbender so well, but there are a lot of parts of Legend of Korra that are a little bit wishy-washy for me. I think it's because I had to watch them at a slower pace.
Yeah.
So something about that, like, if I'm just going, I'm like, fuck yeah, and I'm getting hyped up, and I'm seeing more stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna remember this forever. But then if I'm watching like 2 episodes, and then 2 more days go by, and I watch 4 episodes, and then another day passes and I watch 1, or like whatever it is, it's sometimes a little bit harder to remember how everything happens and what kind of specific stuff there is.
I was actually talking to Sierra about Legend of Korra recently. You know, we're packing up boxes, and I have a lot of my art books, and one of them was for, you know, the first season of Legend of Korra, and I flipped to the page. It just happens to flip to the page where it's like there's a storyboard for like when with Korra and Mako, and then the very next one is of Bolin, and like that, one of my favorite shots, you know, of like his, like that zooming in pan of his face.
I think you told this story last week.
Oh, dude, it's just so good, man. Like,
I know, it's really
so fucking funny, and I think about it. It's crazy. I think about it a lot more now, just especially after my animation class. Like, my teacher does a really cool thing where he likes to break down videos and like go through them frame by frame, and I've been doing that more often with like work that I like. I'll like scrub through them really slowly. To see like camera angles and like the way the camera will move, or framings, or just whatever. There's something about that fucking shot, just fucking, it makes me so happy. It's a good show, dude.
It's great, man.
I'm excited for when you and Kate get around to it.
Yeah, it'll be soon. It'll be very soon. But after The Last of Us, I can tell you that much for sure. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun watching through that. Other than that, you know, I've been visiting some 30 Rock and whatnot as like a regular TV show. But anime, Tower of God, still really good. They're doing like a huge trust exercise type thing for this this most recent episode and next one or whatever. I like it. I think it's fine. It's good. I'm having a great time with it, even with the weird thing that I don't know exactly how to feel about. Since you're not caught up.
No, I am
there
not.
was How many episodes behind are you?
Okay, let's see. I was actually pulling up Tower God right now to see where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now they have aired 11 episodes. It looks like 11.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm on episode 7.
Okay. Well, there is a character thing introduced in episode like 10, I think. Maybe it was 9. Don't know how to feel about it, and it's here in episode 11, and I'm interested, but I also feel like it's some weird ass fucking anime bullshit.
Nice.
So we'll see what's going on. Yeah. I think that you'll like it and also feel similarly of like, I don't know exactly how I feel, but I like it.
That's for sure my goal for the week is to catch up with Tower of God. So we can talk about it. I mean, it should be wrapping up pretty soon, right? Is it 2 cour or is it 1?
I don't know. It feels like it's not quite over, but I could see them ending after this little part because they're kind of leading towards like what's going on with Bam and Rachel, but they haven't explicitly said anything at this point. So they're kind of working out their situations with each other.
Okay.
And because they're kind of addressing that, I feel like that was the start of the show, and that's kind of a focal point of it. They're going to wrap that up at the same time as wrapping up this event, and then maybe we'll get a second cour, but I can't remember. So it's really good though. I actually really, really enjoy Tower of God, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be one of those shows that I would look back and remember, but I think it's hitting that same point of like Shield Hero is for me, where I was like, yeah, this is really good. And Shield Hero got worse, but then it got better. Mm-hmm. And when it got worse, I was like, I'm probably just going to forget about this show. And it got a little bit better. And I was like, all right, cool. I feel like Tower of God has been like, there's some really cool moments, but overall, I don't really care about it. And then it's like, yeah, I care about a lot of characters at this point, and like I do want to see what happens. That's where I'm at now.
That's a cool analogy. I remember also really enjoying Shield Hero, and then really disliking it.
Yeah,
and then it really coming around by the end of it, where I'm just like, man, I'm excited for a second season if and whenever we get it.
Oh man, I can't wait. It'll be cool.
Yeah, but yeah, the Tower of God. So from what I've seen, I really enjoy it, and I don't know, because it is, I guess, more in uncharted territories, but it's one of the first Crunchyroll originals. So maybe they just stuck to 12. You know, that's like, let's see how it goes.
That's one of the things that I'm thinking. But then again, maybe they're also like, fuck it, dude. Let's gotta go big at the beginning.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, how long is Inspector? Do you know? Like, do you off the top of your head?
It's about the size of a season.
Yeah, is it? You still? I'm gonna check because I'm curious, because Inspector is also a Crunchyroll original, right?
Yeah, Inspector was, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Which I always in my head, like Inspector and ID Invaded or ID Invaded or whatever are pretty bad. Okay, don't worry about me freezing. We're gonna get through this together. You're gonna handle your situation at the same time as me handling mine.
It's okay.
Can you hear me at least? Yeah. He's gone. He's back. This is going to be a weird part of the audio where we're trying to remember exactly what's happening. So anyways, I have also been watching Wave Listen to Me, and it's pretty solid still. I think overall, this is going to be a show that I don't remember. It feels like it has a short story to tell, but it could also tell more if it wanted to. But it's kind of slowing down and getting to the point where, like, there isn't much character progression. There isn't a whole lot of, I don't know. There's not much extra stuff going on. It's kind of just like, yep, and now they're doing their job and recording radio shows, and everyone's getting better at it and understanding what it is more. And she has her own show now, our main character, and it's good. Like, not only did she have her own show, like now it's titled after her. So she's got to like write everything and figure out what this week's topics is going to be and all that stuff. Kind of like what we have to do. So Wave Listen to Me is all right. I always really, really like the intro and outro, and I'm super happy when they come on my Spotify. I'll tell you that much for sure. Then I've been watching more Gleipnir, and without spoiling too much, where we're at right now, it kind of just revealed how this whole coin game situation got started, as well as it's breaking down different characters that also had these powers and also existed in this world, but we didn't know about that, and now their whole thing is kind of over. I'm gonna stop talking to myself. I went really long. If only I are you still recording? Have you stopped at all?
No, I'm still recording.
All right, cool. Me too. I might just keep all of that up to the point where I said, I don't fucking know. I should just stop recording. And then you came back, like right when I was trying to do a monologue.
I tried to figure out if it was better to stop recording or going. I was like, I'm just gonna keep recording. How long could this take? I had to turn off my Wi-Fi and then turn it back on. That's not bad.
On your hotspot.
Yeah, it went like 40 minutes without it crapping out. It's not
that
bad.
Was pretty good.
Not
so,
bad.
and I just got done kind of explaining Gleipnir is
what's going on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so Gleipnir's a good time.
He fucking froze again. Oh, okay.
I know.
It's when we laugh too much we freeze.
This is a huge technical difficulty kind of week. It's a huge technical difficulty week.
Anyways, I'm glad you kept
talking. They're kind of just at a standstill. They told us some backstory. We're learning a little bit more about what characters have powers, and we're going into the next story arc, which people aren't as trusting of our main characters because they just did some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I watched that one. That shit was brutal. But I feel like it was pretty cool. I feel like it was like a dark move to do for a dark show. I like it. I think it's good. I didn't like the bit where like they're fighting like a bigger crew and some of them were just all grayed out. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, maybe it's just like
there are
it's
parts of the
that
show
way.
that I like more than others. That's for sure. Like that. Yeah, that inconsistent quality of animation and like detail, as well as just the over the top like dramatic story. It doesn't feel like it's authentic. If that makes sense. Right? Yeah,
it feels like it's just super over the top. On purpose, right? Like it's like holy, it's just for you to go, oh my god.
But not necessarily in a way that like, which we'll be reviewing in a minute, like Final Fantasy is, which is nonstop over the top, and it's like this is what we are. Gleipnir is like, yeah, so it's a dark story, and it's pretty serious, guys. And then you're like, this isn't that serious. And they're like, but treat it like it is.
It's like you're collecting coins. Settle the fuck down.
Yeah, it's the back and forth between this is a really serious dark show and this is a show that's goofy as fuck that has an alien that wants you to go collect coins.
Someone posted on a Facebook group a part of was they 3D printed what's the money called in Animal Crossing?
Oh yeah, bells. Yeah.
Bells, yeah. He's like just printed some 3D printed some bells for my kids and like the little gold coins with stars on them. And I was like instantly thought of Gleipnir. So like I put like a fucking image of like what I saw. And it's just like the intro logo in the background, you see these golden coins. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Those are aliens, bro.
Yeah, those coins are aliens, dude.
Cool, man.
All right. And
let's just keep going,
yeah, I finally watched a lot because I've been saving up Ascendance of a Bookworm. I wanted to watch a lot of it at once. So I finally fucking did. I watched a ton of it. And it's good. And I'm glad I did it that way. It still has that kind of slow feeling. But I really like what they're doing with the world and the characters. Now they're showing like that different people from the church will get kidnapped or like robbed or whatever if they go out in the streets in their church clothes, in their like robes and whatnot. So they will be straight up like lynched and killed sometimes too, because some people hate the church more than like anything, but you're not supposed to in this society. So anyways, main character learns that like after the first day, she's walking into town with her homie, and then she's supposed to have people that are like following her and that help her out at all times. She doesn't like that feeling though, and they were all being bitchy, so she's like, all right, go fuck off. She goes into town with her homie, and they go to their business together, And then the like main businessman's like, "What the fuck are you doing in your robes? Are you a psychopath?" And she's like, What are you talking about? I'm just a kid. I'm learning shit. And he's like, "You could have fucking died, and now we're gonna have to get you some regular clothes, and you're gonna have to walk back, and then we're gonna have to get you a carriage," and like all this different stuff happened. So it's kind of cool seeing those societal differences. Now she's having these apostles essentially follow her around as like members of her little going into town crew or whatever, and they don't understand what it's like in town. They don't understand what it's like in normal society, only in their church and monastery society or whatever. So she's learning how to do the whole church thing, and they're learning how to do the whole city thing, and now they're helping each other out, and they're homies. But they were fighting for a while. She also turned the entire orphanage into a paper making shop. Yeah, essentially. So they can make money so that she could buy them better food, because they were just getting whatever scraps all of the high priests would leave behind. And
that's super cool.
They were all like starving and dying. So she's like, all right, I'm going to use my business life to turn this orphanage into a safe place that they can first off learn skills that they could go and make money, and people will want to adopt them more. Or they can like just live a happy life with everyone else there instead of suffering and dying on the floor. Mm-hmm. Like, it's cool. It has like just an interesting way of telling how the world is. You really are seeing it from this child's perspective that's able to catch on to things a lot faster because she was a teenager or whatever before she died. And it's been a couple of years since she's been in this world too. She's just seeing more aspects of it.
How old is she now?
10?
She's not, okay, cool. She's not like a
I don't know.
Like a sick infant anymore.
No, she was like what, like 4 or 6 or some shit like that. She was able to grow up a little bit, and now she's running a shit ton of businesses, and she set up like like an actual kitchen with hired chefs so that she could give them like, hey, this is how you make this. And she's like, holy fuck, it's been so long since I've had pizza. This is the fucking best day ever. Like, she's just teaching people how to make normal ass dishes in our world, but they don't know how to do it in theirs because they have weird ingredients. So like, she's had to do some translating of like, oh, this thing would go really well with this kind of a thing. I know because of the acids and this, and they counter, like, she knows shit.
And people are just like, okay, like idiots.
Yeah, well, no, not even that, because she's like so well respected as a business person, as an idea man, as like a merchant, all that. Because of all of that, people are just like, all right, so let's check out your food ideas. Like, if you think you could be creative, like, let's just give it a go at the very least. And they're like, ah, fuck. You're really good at this too. You're just good at, if you want to do anything, you could just do anything you want. Like,
that's cool.
But each time going into it, they're like, I don't really know, but we got to see. Yeah, it's fun to watch. That's all the anime I've been watching, and we are going to get around to watching Review Starlight next week.
Yes,
but this week we just finished up Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. So I think that's all the anime.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You got any little bit of news for me or not?
I got a few pieces of news for you, and I know you know about a couple of them. Okay. First off, I don't know if you saw this, but The Promised Neverland is done.
Of course I saw this. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Yeah, I saw this. Is crazy.
Yeah, it ended. It's done so.
Yeah, man. I don't know. When I saw this, I was like, are they goofing? Is this a goof? Because I feel like,
I was stoked.
It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, but it's a really popular, successful manga. Don't these just last forever? You know, that's what
I know, right? But you want it to last forever, but you also
don't
want it to end.
Yeah. You're like, cool, settle down, chapter 900 of Naruto. I want to see, fucking cool your jets,
Yeah, so I am super happy to know that it actually ends, and people are pretty happy with the ending from what I could see without spoiling too much. Just, people sharing. fucking the last frame or whatever.
That gives me hope. That gives me hope to be like, depending on season 2 and how much I like it, maybe I'll just fucking go ahead and read it all. I know you've read ahead, so that doesn't sound like there's too much actually left. And yeah, I've heard people say that they like the ending. That's good.
I can
it's
see
good
this
when
being like 4
something
or
ends.
5 seasons.
Yeah, 4 or 5, bro.
Uh-huh.
It's 3 seasons and 2 movies done. Talk about.
I don't want it. No parts of this would feel good as a movie from what I've seen so far.
And then one of the movies is just filler. It's stuff that doesn't even matter. It's like a bunch of fucking beach scenes.
You're just like, none of the kids are gonna fucking die. What's the point? And then they all die, but they come back because it was just a movie.
Yeah, it was a dream the whole time.
It was always a dream. So that was fucking crazy to me that Promised Neverland actually ended. Another thing that people are going bonkers about, mostly people around our age, Shaman King is getting a new anime.
Ooh, I was never huge into Shaman King growing up. I know I saw it on like Fox Box or Fox Kids or whatever.
Fox, what it was. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Whatever it was called back in the day. And I remember seeing it and
Saturday
just like
morning Fox cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, I think I caught it too late. Like it had already been like a dozen episodes in or something like that, and I didn't really like the way it looked. At least like personally, like I was like, oh, I don't really like the art style. But I know
as
that
a kid, I had like television limits.
Oh yeah,
so I wasn't allowed to watch for like that long.
Oh yeah, okay.
Depending on certain things, I don't know.
You had to pick what shows you watch. Like, okay, I'll watch this show, but that means I miss out on this show.
Yeah, like the limits weren't always in place, but I remember them while Shaman King was on. It was, and I'm like, well, I have to watch my Metabots. Yeah. That's like a necessity.
Oh, dude, Metabots, yeah. And then you get Metabots, and then you'd be like, cool, Kirby, you get Kirby show.
Right back at you.
And then you'd have to watch some fucking Cubics, because like, you don't want to watch Cubics, but after Cubics is like fucking Monster Rancher, so you're just like, oh, damn.
I don't remember Cubics and Monster Rancher being on Fox.
No, probably not, no. But what I'm saying is like, those, like, you had to pick and
choose. Yeah,
shows.
It was like, okay, what section do I need? And then I'm just like sliding my little window of television. Yeah, I always tried to watch Digimon and Metabots when I was growing up, so I missed Shaman King. But I know Sierra is stoked about it.
Oh yeah, no,
I think it's kind of cool. Like, I want to check it out. Clearly,
I do too. Yeah, I think maybe because of the way anime looks now, they'll be able to get like a fresher look, like true to the show or the manga or whatever. But like it will look more pleasing to the eyes because the concept's interesting and like the designs are pretty cool. Like I have Sierra has a couple of like the Shaman King figures. I'm like these fuckers look pretty dope. But yeah, I saw this. I was like, that's good. I'm interested to see that. And we've seen it done, I guess, kind of successfully with the Digimon show. That's like a reboot.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I'm really excited to watch more of that whenever it comes back around. But yeah.
So I'm also excited for this, and I mean, we'll give it a shot. Whether we like it or not, that's kind of just up in the air. But yeah, that's cool news, I think.
I mean, I feel like shows around this era like don't inherently look good, but something about them is so appealing.
I think so too.
When you're watching it, though, like ads for it doesn't do anything, but watching it brings up this weird nostalgic, like, yep, back then. Potpourri was sitting on the middle of the coffee table. I remember, weird shit like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, the second season of ReZero is going to be split cour, which some people are probably pretty pissed about. I hate whenever that happens. So it's going to premiere January 2021. Split cour means that it's going to be 12 episodes with a big break and then another 12 episodes.
Fuck, I hate that. I feel like that really started happening a lot with like around the Walking Dead time of television, where it's like it's season 7 and they go, see you in 6 months for the rest of the season, and I go, fuck you, play it all now, don't be a bitch.
Yeah,
bummer, dude. Sorry for people who are excited for that, but at least you're getting it, or at least you're getting a second season. I know that like
some people don't get that. No Game No Life fans.
Yeah.
Me? A little thing that I don't have anything to say about other than it looks cute and I want to see what it is. Josie, the tiger and the fish, had a new key visual and it just looks like sweet ass characters hanging out in a sweet little place, Ferris wheel in the background, little city life looking thing. I'm excited to see what this is. People are pretty excited because the music is being done by Evan Call, who did the music in Violet Evergarden.
Ooh, okay, cool.
So you're probably in for a super emotional time. Oh shit. Also, you know that show that we want to watch but we can't watch, Appare Ranman?
No.
The racing show.
Yes.
Yeah, he does that.
Dude, what's funny, I was actually thinking about that. I think I was thinking about like wanting to watch that show. I was like, God, I want to watch how that show ends, but everything's on fucking hiatus, so good, that makes sense. That's some good music. Yeah.
It's also postponed, but I don't know
for how long.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Seems like I'm gonna love it, whatever the fuck Josie the Tiger and the Fish is.
It's got some cool looking vibes to it.
Yeah. Other thing this week has been kind of interesting. There are different trending hashtags, but the most important one in the animator community is the hashtag animation paid me, and people around the world are sharing how much income they have for whatever their jobs are. Mm-hmm. So this is a pretty big thing that's shedding a lot of light on how much animators are paid in Japan. It's interesting. I think it's worth taking a look at on like Twitter or wherever. You could just Google hashtags and it'll show you different results and stuff. Yeah. So hashtag animation paid me. It's an interesting look. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about that either. But hey, yesterday, hang on, what is it called? Sing Yesterday for me? Sing Yesterday to me? Mm-hmm. Sing Yesterday. Whatever. It's gonna be 12 episodes only. Yeah, a lot of people thought the show would be 18 episodes long because it's going to be 12 episodes plus 6 that are going to be aired after it finishes.
Like an OVA kind of thing?
Yeah, they don't know exactly what it's going to be. They misinterpreted a statement back when it was first announced that there are going to be some extra clips. They thought it was going to be extra episodes. So a lot of people are pretty disappointed that it's not going to be a full 18. That's
kind of shitty. I know that, what was it called? The show, remember Re-Life did 12 episodes and then they did 4 episodes afterwards. Kind of like,
yeah.
And they did call those OVA, like they didn't call it something differently. Yeah, that's funny. I just reminds me, I got to go watch those 4 episodes of Re-Life that I never finished.
Yeah, dude, finish it up.
Yeah.
Real Life was an interesting show. I had a fun time, but I also feel like it's one of those shows that if there wasn't this very weird, like, all right, we're going to drop it all at once. If that didn't happen, I feel like I would never remember it.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Maybe not, though, because I also remember Orange very well, and that aired at the like exact same time. And I feel like that show's not super memorable as a drama.
I think Orange was just better, though. I think maybe
it was.
Yeah, like,
it was also better. But
like if you're being like, you know, for comparing apples to oranges, you see what I did there?
Well. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was probably a better show. I just remember liking Real Life. I think it was an interesting concept.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting concept. Very weird one. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Eden Zero is getting an anime adaptation.
I think I know that show.
You're sitting here like, oh, hey, Chris, what's Eden Zero? Why should I care about it? Mm-hmm. Well, if you're a big fairy tale fan, it's by the same guy.
Okay, I have seen this. I have seen the images for this. Yeah, good for those people. Who knows if it'll be good or as popular as fairy tale, but that guy is a very fucking similar, like, the samey, specific style.
Yeah.
So, like, I saw the pictures for this and I was like, they just look like fairy tale characters. Like,
yeah.
And I think
it's kind of like how similar Soul Eater looks to Soul Eater Not.
But aren't those animes are done by different studios though? You son of a bitch. No, what I'm trying to say is that like I think I talked to Kyle, not our friend Kyle, Kyle Partlow, and he was explaining to me that like there's characters that are in like fairy tale that are also in his other works before that. Like specifically like the blue cat that's in fairy tale. I don't know his fucking name, but I know that that character is also in this other anime or manga that he made before, but he's like in that show or manga, he's a robot that has guns or whatever. And I think he just kind of does that where he likes maybe reusing like characters for different works, but they kind of tweaks them a bit.
Yeah, like some Fumofu shit.
Kind of. So I don't know. If this show comes out and we're still doing the podcast, we're gonna watch it because that's what we
gotta
do.
Check it out.
We have to. But I can't say that I'm like super juiced for this. I'm like someone like Kate who's like uncultured and likes horrible shows. So congratulations, Kate. Yeah, fucking shots fired, bro. What? Get at me.
All right, speaking of horrible shows, I saved the best for last.
Okay.
Domestic Girlfriend Uncensored Edition is coming to HIDIVE, baby.
I've been fucking... Oh, man, they finally responded to my letters. I'm so happy.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
I thought that was hella funny. A lot of people ordered the Blu-ray specifically for that.
The uncensored
and HIDIVE just has it. They're like, yeah, we got you. Don't worry.
I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go on HIDIVE and log into your profile and watch it. That way no one thinks that I watched it. Know.
Fine. I don't care. You already watched it on yours. You'll just watch the uncensored one on mine, which is the cooler version, by the way.
I wanted to say, I don't know if you missed any news, but I think I saw somewhere that Log Horizon Season 3 is coming in January 2021.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we talked about that already, but they are releasing key visuals.
Yeah, and from what I remember, I remember someone suggesting watching Long Horizon a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. And then I saw how big it was, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll take a break. Maybe I won't check it out.
How much did we watch? Because I watched it.
I didn't watch. I haven't watched anything.
Maybe you gave it to me as homework, and we're like, let me know how it is.
I think, yeah. I was like, hey, check it out. Maybe you watched a few episodes. It's like people told me like, hey, do you like? At least back in the day when I was talking about Log Horizon, they're like, hey, did you like Sword Art Online? Check out Log Horizon. It's kind of the same thing. You know, it's like the isekai video game thing.
It was very different.
Yeah. But I do know
a lot of people just compare isekai all the time. And I'm like, other than the central plot of they're going into a new world, they always have to address the same things for every show anyways. Where they're like, let's let people know what kind of a world this is. And for most shows, you don't have to necessarily like break down what the world is. But even for a show like Durarara, where he's just going to a town and a new city, and he's learning what the new city is, like they're really showing you each little part of it. And that's what happens with isekai. So I don't correlate isekai to one another unless there's something specific that they do the same other than they're in a new world. And the fact that it's a video game, I don't feel like it's similar enough to say it's like Sword Art Online. I feel like Sword Art was way the fuck different.
You've heard it here first. Trip has said it, that Durarara is now technically isekai. Okay.
It is, man.
Yeah, so cool. I just wanted to throw that out there. I thought maybe you'd bring it up because I don't remember talking about it last week. But
maybe we didn't. Maybe it was just a piece of news that didn't quite make it. But I think this has been announced for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, but I know people like Log Horizon, so congratulations. You get what you get.
Hell yeah.
Fucking luckies.
That's all I got. So it's time for us to talk about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
I'm super stoked.
This is directed by... I know.
So fucking
This
pumped.
is directed by Tetsuya Nomura. And those of you that recognize that name already know what's going on. But same dude that directed all the Kingdom Hearts games. And it fucking shows. Didn't think so at first, like, going into it, because I have memories of this movie. I've seen it. I've watched it a bunch in like 9th, 10th grade, whatever. But it's been over 10 years since I've seen this movie.
And I've never seen this movie. I for sure have maybe caught like a glimpse of it in like a fucking AMV here and there on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
And I've heard people talk about it, absolutely talk about Advent Children. And I'm just like, don't fucking know. Honestly, the most I know about Final Fantasy is that mini series that we watched for the game that dropped. Remember, it was like the one that you played. The one that you played
Final
for a bit,
Fantasy 15 Brotherhood.
Because you got 2 copies of it.
Yeah, man.
And then I know Cloud Strife, and I know him as a Smash Bros. Character, and I like playing him in Smash Bros. I think he's fun.
Hey, there you go.
But that's it. That's all I ever. Oh, and I know that they ride the little chickens through the desert or whatever. Yep, that's the extent of my knowledge of Final Fantasy. Which is fine. I didn't have like a PlayStation when I was younger, and so I was like, oh, they never fucking played them. So I went into this not knowing anything, and I feel like that's fine. You can absolutely watch this movie without knowing anything.
Yeah, because I didn't know shit about Final Fantasy at this point either. I seen I played, I think, maybe past like the first dungeon in Final Fantasy VIII when I was a kid. Got stuck. Played a bunch of Final Fantasy X as a kid and got stuck. And then when I was a little bit older, I watched Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Not good. Not bad. Not good. Not anything to tell anyone to go and watch. But then Final Fantasy Advent Children came out. I didn't know about it. I totally missed the boat on this until I saw my friend watching it on his fucking iPod.
Oh,
in
nice.
Class. Not iPod Touch. Like we going back. This is the first like video iPod.
The one that when you circle it goes click, 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 click. Kind of thing.
Yeah. It was a click.
Those are so one, right? Dope.
So he was showing me it. I was like, oh fuck, I need to see this. So I went and I rented it. Like that night after French class, I went home, rented this.
Back when you used to rent things.
Yeah. And oh fuck, dude, it was so wild. It's like the best animation that I had ever seen from 2006. Like it looked insane.
Yeah. So like I said, I think that you can watch this movie not knowing anything about Final Fantasy, and it's not like you're not going to pick stuff up. I do feel that if you are a Final Fantasy fan, especially for the 7th game, this thing is for sure more in your wheelhouse. And when characters pop up that I also only know because of like fan art and like people draw them all the time.
Oh, that's rude.
Yeah, like there's that guy that has like the fucking minigun for a hand. Like I've seen him drawn a lot.
Barrett.
Yeah, and there's like the fucking cat dude, and there's fucking the dude with the claws and the fucking red cape, and there's a dude named Reno with the thing. So so like when those people pop up on screen, I can feel like there's that moment, like they show up, they say their one line, and there's like that pause, and I feel like they're holding for applause, Like,
here's the thing, though. When the characters are first introduced in the video games, that's how they're introduced. They come in and they say some shit, and they're like, you already know who I am. I'm fucking awesome. And you're like, all right, yeah, you're fucking awesome. I'm down.
Yeah, so I feel like, yes, if I were a Final Fantasy fan, that moment would have meant more to me. But because I'm not, I'm just like, oh, cool, new character. What interesting.
Exactly, yeah.
What interesting design you have, sir.
Right?
Which is totally okay. Especially, I also have to take it with a huge grain of salt because it is from '06. So I'm just like, all right, let's see what you got. And because I did take that in consideration, I still think the movie was good at points because of the fight scenes. I think like the action sequences were for sure
it's a wild ride.
Yeah, and for animation now in 2020. I feel like some of the scenes actually really do hold up, like, and not being like
surprisingly.
Yeah, like and the reason we're watching this movie is because, well, one, it was because it was a movie and it was easier than watching a whole show because especially with my packing. Two, I talked about last week we watched Mind Game, and one of my favorite scenes was the scene where they're running up water, and you're like, dude, there's this similar thing in Advent Children you have to watch, and I was like. So the whole time I'm waiting for this to happen, and when it happens, I go, I fucking love this. This is so,
it was so
fucking
dumb. It's so stupid. Okay. We'll get into that later. But holy shit, when I was watching, I was like, this is way dumber than I remember. I love it.
It's really fucking stupid.
There were a lot of parts. There was also this like scene where they're on. There's a lot of motorcycle scenes in this movie, but there's a scene where they're on motorcycles, and then one of them like throws a motorcycle at Cloud, and Cloud jumps off, does like a flip, stays in the air for forever, and then slashes the motorcycle that's in the air in half as he's like fighting these other dudes in the air, never touching down at their motorcycle inside of a pretty small tunnel.
Yeah. No.
They're just having this weird air fight at like 100 miles per hour.
The best bit about that is he slices the motorcycle in half and then continues his fight because he continues to go forward while the slice motorcycle goes backwards.
He jumped off of his motorcycle.
Yeah,
right,
and he collides in the air with one of the bad guys who has like the slick back hair, and he kicks him back to right in between the motorcycles that had just been cut seconds ago.
All the fuel is like flowing everywhere,
and then it blows up. I go, oh my god, that's the fucking dumbest thing ever. Especially like So yeah, it's a lot of this was being like, this is like me rolling my eyes like, this is so fucking stupid, but like in a great way, like in like in a turn off your brain and don't think too hard
anime way.
Yeah, exactly. Which felt good. Especially after like being super tired and moving. I'm just like, I don't want to think too hard because if you're watching this, you're not watching it because you need to think. It's not a thinker piece,
it says some weird shit and then it does some time jumps and then it's just an hour and a half of fighting. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
Well, yeah. So starting off, like it felt very like, what's the word? I don't know, like jarring or fucking jumbled. And I was like, oh man, I really hope it doesn't continue to be like this. Like for the first 15 minutes, I was like, kind of just didn't know where I was, like where to stand watching this. And it felt like these are just cutscenes put together, right? Like from a video game. And then once the title card comes up, like as Advent Children, I'm like, oh, thank God. And then it felt more like a cohesive kind of like movie, right, like you could say, but it still had those moments like, this feels like a cutscene, that feels like a cutscene, and they're kind of mashed together.
Which this whole movie takes place after the video game, by the way. Mm-hmm. So there's some like flashbacks to characters or like moments where he'll like interact with a character in a white space or whatever, Cloud will. Mm-hmm. And those characters have died in the original games. So it's kind of interesting to watch this as somebody who doesn't know those games. And you're like, all right, these characters are important for a reason, and they are for sure dead. Like, certain things, but you're like, but I don't quite know their full relationship. So if I did know the games, then I would appreciate this more. Yeah. But as somebody who's just watching it and hasn't, like me personally, I still don't know why Zach is important. I don't know shit about any of that. They don't even say Zach's name, I think. Is that
the guy that gives him the sword?
It's the guy with the little, like, cross scar. Yeah.
He has a cross scar.
Yeah.
He gives him this. He's like, they have a flashback. He's like, I'm dying. You fucking live for me. Take my sword. I was like, cool, man. You seem important. But I'm pretty sure you're dead. I'm pretty sure you died in the game is what I'm thinking. Like, you're dead.
I think he might have died before the game. Whoa. I don't know the deal, but you learn about him.
He's for sure dead,
game.
though, yeah.
Yeah, he's for sure dead. And same with the other chick.
Dead Aerith. Chick. Yeah.
Yeah, Aerith. So, watching this movie, going into it, it's telling you, like, all right, so here is Genova. And here is Stigma, and you're like, okay, so Genova is kind of like some weird god thing, and then Stigma is like this disease, and you're just like learning these weird little things. They drop different little terms from the games. They're like, oh yeah, the materia, and you're like, okay, materia, all right. Never explains what they are. Some dude just starts like shoving them inside of his arm, and you're like, okay, I guess that's what you do. In the games, it's like magic shit that powers you up or gives you new abilities or whatever. Like, that's where your magic comes from.
Yeah, from these the orbs,
materia. Yeah, which are like filled with this earth energy. It's a whole thing. It's got a bunch of different characters. It's got a couple of kids. It's got a whole bunch of adults. It has lots of minor characters that are more featured in the games. But it gives you enough sense of, all right, so these are good guys. They look a lot different, so they're clearly from a different team, and all of these different teams are teaming up, and they're becoming this very large force against whatever evil exists. They've probably done this before. Like, you get all of these little ideas of it. And what it amounts to is a bunch of kids are sick. Nobody knows how to make them better. Our main characters are having, like, weird-ass flashbacks. Cloud also has this sickness. But he's dealing with these dudes that are calling him brother, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. They're looking for Mother, which is some kind of a source of something or other that maybe they came from. These people don't seem like real people, kind of stuff. And as it goes on, it turns out that none of that fucking matters at all, and it's entirely just about fighting, and all of the kids, like, go, and they're supposed to be getting cured from the bad guys. They're like, hey, we have this cure. So all the kids are like, well, we're dying in the streets and we're orphans. So yeah. And then they just go in this guy's truck. They all drink the weird ass juice instead of the life forest that they're in or whatever the hell it is. All of them get like corrupted and enslaved essentially by these 3 evil dudes. And then they go into town. They summon a big old monster, which I believe is Bahamut, but I'm not 100%. Kate and I were kind of trying to figure that out when we were watching it because I don't remember any of the summons other than like Ifrit and Zion, personally. So, big old monster. They fight the monster for a bit, and then they start fighting the dudes a bit, and then they start fighting another guy. It's a bunch of fights. They're all over the top. They never touch the ground. All of the characters fight in different ways that are a lot of fun and exciting. I think this is definitely a show or a movie that you can just watch with your homies at any point. I think it's a really easy. You guys want to watch Final Fantasy Advent Children? You go, sure. You just throw it on in the background. Don't pay any attention for the first 30 minutes, except for like a fight or two. Mm-hmm. And then you're fully engrossed and you're like, fuck, dude, this is so cool. I love this stupid shit. Like, that's how you should watch this movie.
Yeah, for sure. It does feel like, like some time has passed since the game has ended because, like, fucking Cloud's nowhere to be found. And, like, there's the like slowly gathering of the squad or the team kind of reuniting, like they're obviously
but in like a weird way where it's not necessarily like we all need to get together again. No, it's a little bit more like a phone call.
Like, hey man, where you at? Yeah. See when I see you. Yeah, but it does like I'm saying, like it does feel like they didn't end on bad terms and like, oh, we're no longer friends. Yeah, because that wasn't the point of it. The point is like they're still boys. They're just not boys together because they just spent.
Like, we did our thing. We're gonna try to figure our lives out after.
Yeah, I'm assuming they spent a great amount of time defeating the big bad in the video game and like saving the world. It's like, cool, I'm gonna fuck off and I'll call you when I call you kind of thing.
Yeah, Sephiroth got nuked or whatever and game over.
That's the long-haired guy with like a really stupid long sword, right?
One-winged angel, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I was like, cool. I don't like I said, like I don't know any of these people, but I feel like it's being presented in a way where like.
They're iconic and they feel iconic. Yeah,
and there's like a lot of context, like clues that are being like, yeah, like that's the bad guy because we keep talking about how Cloud defeated him. And it was like, okay, cool, all right.
Yeah, like I saw him in a flashback or like a fever dream. Yeah,
and they're like, those 3 guys kind of look like that guy we defeated. Is like, yeah, they sure do. Okay, cool, whatever. Who the fuck cares? It's like it doesn't like it. Like the thing is like, I'm assuming that if you are a huge Final Fantasy fan, like don't get upset with us. We're coming at this the best to our abilities, which is with no real knowledge of this. So it's like, yeah, the story's not very good.
This is going in with like very minimal knowledge from the PS4 remake. Is what I now know about these characters, and I'm like, not all of them are here. That's fine.
Yeah,
there are also other ones that I haven't met yet.
The thing is, like, it's like if you like this because like you think it's like a great continuation of this video game that you really like, that's awesome, cool, that's great. We're not shitting on that. What we're shitting on is like it's not a great story, it's not told that great, but the fights and the actions is what we're really there for. And there's
the weapons, the character design, the designs, the outfits, all that shit.
Yeah, there's some really cool shit. Like even like they're not main characters, like the kids, like, oh, nice shoes, kid. I like the way your shoes look. Like just
Denzel.
Yeah, shit like that. And I think for being from 2006, there's like a lot of detail in this, like in the world. It's like crazy. It looks fucking lived in. It looks grimy. I think my least favorite thing is hair, and I think it's because hair looks too like everybody's hair looks wispy. Way too thin. Like like you can like see right through it, and that's always been like
kind of the style of animation, like Japanese animation at that time, is this thin wispy hair. I don't know if they thought it looked cool or if that was just the best result that they could get for semi-realistic hair. But yeah, it definitely, the hair is for sure an issue that I've always had with that kind of Japanese animation.
Like I didn't mind it so much on Cloud. It was like, okay, cool, like this fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed hunk.
Because he's got a bunch of spikies and it's fine.
Yeah, you're like, whatever. But the Reno, the guy with the red hair and the really long ponytail, also, I'm like, dude, you look fucking ridiculous.
But some people just need to look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. No, man. So things I didn't like besides story wise, there's like some really fucking wild camera angles and movements.
Oh, like, man, it was just spinning around like nonstop.
there were scenes where like I get it, like when the camera moves very aggressively or like or has that Dutch angle, which is that tilt, you know, on a fight scene to get a certain like feel to it. But when like it's someone walking to pick up the phone and you go from a really low Dutch angle and you swoosh to the left and you go past the coffee table to just go to a different Dutch angle, I go, what the fuck's the point of that, dude? Like, settle the fuck down.
Fun. It's just like,
no.
And the crazy thing about it though is that this is all animated. It's like it had to be for sure planned out, and nobody was like, scrap that.
Yeah,
or the people that were like, scrap that, the director's like, fuck you, I will die on this hill. Like,
someone consciously made that decision to do these wild camera angles that at many points when it's not an action sequence, I thought were so unnecessary. And I'm just like trying to fight motion sickness. I'm like, oh my God, just fucking pick up the phone, little kid, you know, and like the camera's just swooshing left and right. And I go, why are you fucking going so crazy? Why is there so much fucking shake on this camera? That's something that like I just could not like get over as like, but maybe like, you know, in 06, this shit was super edgy. Like, this is the way we do shit, you know? I was like, cool, man.
Like, if you look at Kingdom Hearts, you'll see that same shit. It's just the guy. It's fucking great, but it's also really stupid.
I fucking hated it.
All right, this is fun. Whatever. That's how I see it. I'm just
during like
for the wild ride.
During like the wild like motorcycle races and like fights and stuff, like, oh, this is pretty cool. I agree. Your camera angles should be super low because then we get to see all this wild.
It's
shit.
the same camera. It never stopped. It's still on that weird sweeping motorcycle thing.
It's insane.
It's just indoors now.
It's like they got a guy that has rollerblades following them and recording everything, but his rollerblades have like rockets on them. Like, he's insane.
Luckily, they had a steady cam for it.
Did you watch this subbed or dubbed?
So I figured you were going to go into it subbed. Sorry, I figured you were going to it dubbed, and I've seen it dubbed a lot around that time. So I watched it subbed. Okay. And it turns out that some of the people are the same voice actors for the current game, which is kind of cool.
What were your thoughts? Like, were there any things where it's like voices?
No. I think overall they did a really good job. There are just some that are very different than their English voice, like Barrett, the big dude with the minigun on his hand.
Okay.
His voice in Japanese is pretty different than his voice in English. I think Cloud is a bit different. Like, all of them are different, but they all sound good.
I think,
in my opinion.
In your mind, yeah, and like you're like recalling it, yeah. No, I went into it dubbed because I was like, I don't want.
It's easier, yeah.
Like I don't want to focus too hard. So like, let's fucking do this.
And it's good dubbed.
It's not good. It's not bad. There are people who are really good in it, and there's people who it's like, your voice sucks ass. And but as a whole, I go, you know what? Dubbed is the way to go. I feel like you're not gaining anything too much. If this person's voice actor sucks, because like my least favorite character, I feel like dubbed was the girl that had the ninja star that shows up later. You know,
Yuffie is awesome. I love Yuffie, but
I did not like her English voice actor. I also didn't like the other girl that had like who was like Cloud's girlfriend, the one
Tifa?
Her voice actor wasn't really feeling it. I also don't know if this. I'm curious to see this. They what the dialogue was for a specific bit when they subbed it. They would use this really corny like thing where they would say dilly dally shilly shally. Yeah, that is the dumbest fucking thing.
That's what the sub said. It's not what it actually said in Japanese, but
okay, because in English I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Someone paid this woman to say those words, and then Cloud says it back later. I was like, no, Cloud, what are you doing? Don't fucking stoop to their level. So like I said, dub was bad and good in my opinion at times. Like some of the voices were kind of corny, but some of the voices were really good. Like some of the voices for like the bad guys, like, yeah, it's a fucking good ass voice. And there were some voices that like I felt like were familiar, like I'd heard in other animes. And like,
Steve
that
Bloom,
guy,
Crispin Freeman.
Yeah, for sure. Like some iconic voices. And like I said, the dialogue, that's not their fault. That's whoever fucking decided to write it the way it was. And since the story's not that great, Tetsuya, I don't blame them for the dialogue not being that great. You know, it's like it is what it is.
Like if you put it in a Kingdom Hearts game though, it would fit right in.
Yeah, because you got Goofy over there saying the fucking gamer word, bro. Of course,
dilly dally, shilly shally, and he's gamering over there. Yeah,
yeah. But if you got fucking, if I'm supposed to watch this serious action movie and it's just like, hey man, dilly dally, shilly shally. It's like I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Oh,
thing
no.
with this, though, is that Final Fantasy does have a lot of those like goofy ass anime
Mhm.
moments where they'll do some weird shit and be like kind of out of character, but it also feels like, all right, cool. So they're fun and quirky sometimes. Sure. That's the way that dilly dally, shilly shally comes off to me, is that they're like, all right, I know that we're all about to die, but come on.
We're all
now.
having fun here, okay? No, also like okay, so there's the cat who has like the crown, right? And he rides like this red tiger looking thing.
Yeah, with a crystal in its
Yeah.
neck and a fire tail.
Yes, so the cat that has a crown, I think he had like some sort of Scottish accent, or
He
some
didn't
sort
talk
of.
enough for me to like remember it.
He didn't talk that a lot, but I remember him talking and being like, "What the fuck is that accent? What is this?" You know, that was really confusing. And then I later found out that the weird tiger thing with the
Yeah.
fucking flame tail also speaks. I was like, no one's surprised by this. And I was like, this world's
No.
insane. This world's fucking too much.
They're the last of their kind. That's their deal.
Okay.
Which is
I don't know, man.
stupid and whatever. But
I think the character I liked the most was Cloud was cool. I think he was
he's
like
cool.
Yeah, he's
Thing
just
is,
cool
there are
guy.
just some cool kids. Like Vincent. Vincent's just cool.
Which one's
But
that?
he's the one. He's the vampire.
Is it the red cape guy? Yeah, no, that guy was my favorite because I'm like, oh, this guy's edgy as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
This
like
guy's a
you look at
bad
his
boy.
giant gauntlet, it's all spiky and made out of gold, and then you see his shoes and they're
his
like
pointy-
10 times bigger than his feet.
No, I didn't even know he had like a spiky gold gauntlet until
Yeah.
he came into the battle later. I was like, oh,
Oh,
dope.
no.
And then then I see his like fucking pointy ass shoes. I go, this guy fucks. This guy knows what's up. Like,
I was like, you're gonna love this character. He's so
he's just
dumb.
like so dark. Cloud's just like, you got to take this girl back. He's just like, I can't do that. And he opens up his cape. I was like, oh, okay, shit, settle down, bro. What's he gonna do?
He feels like the most Kingdom Hearts character out of all of them because he has that like spiky ass, like it kind of looks like it would be a Heartless claw type thing, and then his
Yeah.
giant pointy boots are like, oh, that's for sure like a soldier Heartless with the stupid spiky boots. I love it.
I also really like the three bad guys in the movie because they seemed evil. Like, they're cool, they're bad, right?
Yeah, it's just
but they
very
also
clear.
they also seem to be very unstable. Like, they're kind of insane, and like there's times where they would like start crying and they'd be like, don't cry, and like they would just get all emotional and they're like, mommy, and I was like, these guys, there's something wrong with them. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
they're off. They kind of remind me of like the hyenas from the Lion King, where like
Sure,
they're,
yeah.
they're just kind of like all over the place. But I was like, dope. I don't need to know more about these characters besides them being bad for the sake of being bad, and like they're just kind of not all there, and that's all that really matters. Like,
I like that explanation.
It's like there's nothing really deeper than that. Like, and there's a one point where one of them acquires something to like level up and become something else. And I go, okay, cool, dope, all right. And then like he goes back to being himself after being defeated because he's a fucking bitch. Because Cloud's the man. I was like, cool, man. Like, I don't have to think that hard. Like, these characters are bad, and that's all that matters, you know?
Yeah, and the movie's completely unrelated to the story of the game.
Yeah.
And nothing. This is a giant filler movie, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Like, nothing significant happens to any characters at all.
No, like I feel like all the characters who you would say are main characters, like I thought that at one point like two characters had died, like gotten killed, and they just come back later with band-aids on their face. I go, oh, okay, so they were fine. the
Yeah,
whole
we're
time.
like, they're okay.
Yeah, but like honestly, like these three new characters who are the bad guys, they get defeated and then disappear, and I go, cool. People who weren't in the original thing are dead, and it doesn't matter. Everything's the status quo is back to like everything's the same. I do want to talk about my favorite animated scene though, if you're ready.
I'm ready to start the spoilers, I guess, of
Okay.
cool shit that happens that's like real fucking
Detailed.
dumb and
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Anyways,
Okay, so
yeah.
so anyways, Advent Children, it was a fun watch, not because it's like a great story or anything. It's just like it's over the top animation with very not the great storytelling or dialogue, but just turn your brain off and watch some really stupid shit. Like, that's
Had
how
to
I
watch
felt.
it on Amazon, had to rent it. So you don't have to go out of your way to watch it, but if it ever becomes free, and if anyone's like, hey, you want to watch this? I'll get it. Like, check that shit out. It's fun.
I watched it. I did not watch it on Amazon. I watched it elsewhere for free because I wanted
Hey.
to watch it dubbed.
Hey, naughty.
Yeah, man, I'm a sinner. What can I do? Over here cheating with the hotspot. What can I do? Anyways, So the scene that we want to talk about is the bit. So for fucking Mind Game, they run up a really steep water, right? Bunch of in the side of a whale's mouth, and you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
You got to watch Advent Children. Like you're gonna love this scene. And they're fighting the big thing that they summoned. Remember, like
the
wings
Bahamut type thing. It's like a big ol' demon monster. Yeah.
And they throw Cloud up, like someone like gives him like a boost, like a whoop, you know, like chucks him
like
up.
He jumps, somebody like helps him out.
Oh
throws
yeah,
him a little bit further.
I think the first one is the guy with the machine gun hand. Like he grabs him by the hand,
Barrett,
and like he chucks him up. And I go, oh, okay, cool. Like he's gonna get up there, and like he's picking up speed. And then like another character shows up, and like then also aids him in like pushing him, propelling him forward, and it just becomes more and more absurd. Like it's like
every character in the whole series, like Cloud is falling down. Sid, the like captain mechanic character, he's got this big ass javelin pole thing. Cloud's coming down. He just like scoops Cloud up with the end of it, spins around and launches him back into the sky.
No, and then like the vampire dude we were talking about earlier, he does his bit, like he flies up there and throws him, like, oh, that's it, that's all of them. No, they got there's the one girl that's left, who's fucking surprisingly like a very apt fighter. Like she's actually not like a pushover like I thought she'd be. You know, the girl with the gloves or whatever.
Tifa,
yeah. I was like, oh, cool. She actually kicks
Tifa
ass.
Started out like kicking ass right away. Yeah.
And she's up there and she's like, all right, you fucking go, Cloud. And she like throws him up there. And the big dragon thing like shoots like a fucking I don't know, a fireball down, let's say. And like he uses his powers and he goes in it and like he's picking up speed, and then he goes into his white zone and someone gives him more strength and he pops out the front and fucking tears the shit out of his
It wasn't just more strength. It was another boost.
Pickup. Yeah, another
like,
boost.
Aerith is reaching down, grabs Cloud's hand and says like, alley-oop or some stupid shit like that.
Oopsie daisies.
Just shoots him out of this energy ball in the sky. And then he's like reached speeds of asteroids and comets. He has like this barrier around him of fire because he's flying so fast upward. You can see it with a rocket. Cloud's becoming a rocket. And he just like goes up to the Bahamut and slams his sword down into him and yanks it all the way down his back and blasts him open.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was an amazing just collection of animation. Like it was like
so many dumb things. Even the dog gets involved with throwing.
Yeah. It wasn't as over the top as Mind Game, but I do really respect it because it's just like, you know, like you said, this thing isn't, it's not supposed to be taken super serious. So it's fun that they had fun with it. Like someone had to pitch that. Someone had to be like, hey, how about we have someone chuck him up and then we just have like a whole chain of it. And I go, this is
the most anime shit of all time. I love it.
I like that. What other fight scenes did you like? If you had one that you really,
I honestly, the first fight with Tifa inside the church gets me going every time. She's just like they're trading hits, doing different stuff, and then she kicks his ass, and she's like, "All right, we're all good." And then he fucking knocks her down, picks her up, and smashes her face into a lot of the different benches in the church, and just chucks her.
That. Because he's like, she thinks she's won the fight because she's an apt fighter, right? And then like
she's like, really good, yeah.
His phone rings, like, and like I'm like, I go the ringtone, like that sounds like a saving or something that I've heard in the game.
It's before. Whenever you win a fight, it goes ba 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 ba.
That's it. And I go like, what is that? And I go like, oh, that's fun. Like even I can appreciate that little nod. And like then they keep fighting, and he just fucks her up. Like he, and the thing is
nuts.
I really liked because like there's the three bad guys, right? There was the long haired one, the one that had like short hair that covered his face, and then the slick back hair one with the sideburns. I liked him a lot because he had this really weird like punchy.
It was like an electricity drill gauntlet.
That and then he also had this ability. I'm sure other ones also had it, and then I think even Cloud has it later, where he can like he would like zoom and like kind of like teleport, and he was just like teleporting and beating the shit out of her. And I was like, this is really cool. And that was
because of the materia he shoved into his arm, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was super dope. I really liked that fight a lot too. And then I like the fight where he's fighting the guy who absorbs whatever Mother was and turns into
Sephiroth. Yeah. The Sephiroth fight's great because the soundtrack, like the Sephiroth song, the theme is so iconic. It is called One Winged Angel. And from the original game, it sounds a little bit goofy. It sounds kind of like childish PlayStation 1 ass shit. But then in this movie, it starts out and it sounds kind of like I don't know, a weird kind of silly-ish orchestra, but it still is serious. But it's kind of like it could be a high school band or whatever. And then it turns into like this choir just shows up and they start singing shit in Latin. There's wailing electric guitars, and it turns into a whole different kind of song along with the orchestra. It's fucking intense. So that background music to their fight had to be amazing, and it nailed it, I think.
Yeah, I like, the part I like about that fight is that, like, for the most part, Cloud's holding his own against these three guys because he's fighting three of them at the same time. It's like, it's super tough, right? And he's finally got one of them one-on-one, and he essentially levels up, becomes Sephiroth. And I'm just like, all right, cool, let's see this guy fight. And then Cloud gets the shit beat out of him for a bit. Like, he gets hit with this, he gets impaled by the sword, and then like stabbed a bunch of times, and like he's bleeding. And I go, oh, cool. I think it's I haven't seen Cloud bleed yet, like actually get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And they didn't have a whole lot of blood, and then he gets fucking stabbed.
Yeah, and he's like bleeding pretty bad, and I go, holy shit, like, is he about to die? Is this how fucking Advent Children ends, because I'd never seen it. And then he gets his strength, and he ends up winning, and I go, oh, fucking cool, man. Like, it's good to know that our main character, our super strong guy, also can get hurt. So this bad guy who he already defeated in the original game, right? I'm just like, okay, cool. That guy was a badass, and he was like actually tough, so seeing him come back and Cloud being like, like maybe that's really daunting on him, be like, I have to beat you again after, the first time I beat you. And then he gets fucking shot. That was so funny.
Afterwards, it's just like, all right, good job, Cloud.
Boom.
As soon as it's over, he gets shot through the goddamn heart, but he still doesn't die. He's just like, I have to fight you guys again.
No, he just turns around and fucking comes at both of them, and everything explodes. And I go, this is too much. And then he just wakes up, and I'm just like, of course he's okay. Of course the rain heals everyone's disease, and they're all playing in the water, and it's just like cannonball. I'm like, great, what a happy ending. I was like, fucking fine. But yeah,
it's a fun ass time. It has that little bit where Cloud does start teleporting,
which I liked. I thought was cool.
Yeah,
it reminded me of like the mechanic that you used in the newer Final Fantasy, where like the guy had all the different weapons and he could like float between them. I was like, oh, that's super cool. Yeah, cool. That's all I can really say.
Honestly, yeah. I've seen this movie a long time ago, like I said, and I was surprised going into it, not remembering as much as I thought I did, seeing that it was just a super ridiculous, over-the-top anime all the time. When I first watched it, I was like, okay, so we got some interesting little storylines going on. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I'm like 14 or whatever. Now seeing it, I'm like, I completely understand what this is trying to do, and it accomplished it 100%. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's for being as old as it is, I feel like a lot of the animation, especially in the fight scenes, hold up. So yeah, if you want to see some cool, over the top anime stuff, it is 3D CG. But look, it has that like some good textures. It's not like, in recent time we've seen 3D animation and they just kind of really skimp on the textures because that costs money. So this one does look really nice. I feel like, even maybe by today's standards, like maybe not as nice as today's standards, because like there's like you fucking see like the sweat drops on people's foreheads nowadays, But I feel like they still look really good. We see a lot of textures on clothes, and you were talking about the textures and like the leather, and I'm like, yeah, man, super cool stuff. So yeah, it's a good time to just kind of, like you said, put on with your boys and just kind of be like, oh, dude, movie. Just be like, oh, dude, that dude fucking smashed that bitch face right through the fucking pew. That was great, like shit like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the end of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
That is. Next week we are going to do review Starlight. It might be something we like. It might be something we hate. But we are going to watch it and report.
Yeah, get ready to have your fucking favorite anime shredded, bro. Anyways, if you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Answer On Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Answer On Podcast. If you want to send us a tweet at InstaRamenPod.
Pocket Center Fit.
And you can shoot us an email, InstaRamenPodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what we should watch. We do want to get like kind of a list of things that people are interested in. Some shorter things. movies, 12-ish episode shows, something new, something that we might not have paid attention to, something we can go in completely blind and give you an honest opinion of it.
For sure.
As a whole.
Yeah. So thanks for listening.
Aside from this week, we stream on Twitch, so twitch.tv/Crispather. We do stream recordings. You get to see a little bit of before, a little bit of after, and some of the recording process. So yeah.
For sure, yeah. So sorry about this week. I think we did cut out, twice maybe. We're just gonna roll with it, see how it turns out.
I'm just gonna leave that whole section where I talk. I'm not gonna edit it.
I think on my end I just go, fuck, I lost Trip. Oh shit. Oh, damn it. I'm just like clicking away. I don't really say too much, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I figured you probably wouldn't be saying a lot. And I, of course, as you all heard.
So sorry about that. Hopefully by next week, I fucking really hope by next week my internet situation is completely set up so I don't have to worry about this anymore. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. This is bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.